Welcome to this introduction to Community Map Scotland. This is a one-year project giving free mapping software to kickstart mapping projects in Scotland. This has been put together by my company Geosphere, the Improvement Service, Planning Aid Scotland and the Community Council's Liaison Officers Network. We've started this project because we believe that having mapping software in the hands of community councils and other associated local groups has a lot of benefits. There's a big local place plan agenda at the moment, and we feel that the software can be used for that. And there's also other projects such as climate resilience, health and wellbeing, disaster resilience, social levelling, and also forward planning within your local area. Why have we started doing this? Well, actually, we've been doing this for a long time in England and Wales, since 2009. We've got 2,800 subscribers of our mapping software now, and that's used by town, parish and community councils. And it helps them improve continuity across the council, so as members of the team come and go, and it aids decision making in their day-to-day tasks. And on the right-hand side here, you can see where assets have been plotted and particular items of importance have been plotted on the map for this particular council. We also believe, and have seen this in real life, that communities at the most local level have the best local knowledge, but they also have the most informal and underfunded IT. And we believe that taking software that can capture that information and use it for your own purposes and sharing up to the higher tier authorities can have a real benefit. Also, we know that real change actually happens locally. Communities taking ownership is the catalyst for making positive changes throughout all tiers of government. And we've seen this with many projects such as during COVID, where the local councils and the local community groups were the ones taking action straight away to help those vulnerable in their area and really helping neighbourhoods. So how are we going about this? Well, we are taking our mapping software called Parish Online and we're bringing it into Scotland. This is tried and tested software, again used by lots of people already, and we're reworking it for Scottish community councils and community groups. So Parish Online itself is a self-service mapping portal. So imagine Google Maps on steroids. This helps you access lots of digital mapping data. The software is really easy to use, so there's no software to install. It's secure and encrypted, so any information you store on there is secured. And normally we provide this on an annual subscription service. But as I said, for this project, it's a free piece of software. So we're providing the software and Improvement Service are providing the data. So they're bringing in hundreds of mapping data sets that have been curated and aggregated by Improvement Service and bringing it from local authorities into the hands of community councils. And we're also bringing PASS on board with this, so Planning Aid Scotland. These guys are the leaders on training and advice in the planning sector in Scotland, and they'll be the ones helping us with the context of how the software can be used in a planning context, but also in many other areas such as climate and resilience planning. So what does the software actually do? Well, once you've logged in, it will give you access to all of this mapping data that I've been discussing and allowing you to view that really easily. But it also allows you to edit your own maps. So you can use the editing tools within the software to build up your own maps. And these could be for local place plans, or it could be for other projects you've got. Now we try and keep this as simple as possible, so we've got layers of mapping already built into it that you can start contributing to. So in these examples, you can see that you're not having to create anything from scratch, it's just a case of adding your information in. By having those pre-built layers, there's going to be consistency across all of the groups that use this. And we've got lots of fancy tools in there that help to make sure the data is really accurate and detailed and makes it look really nice and professional. And the nice thing here is it's all saved to the cloud, so there's no reliance on your own personal computer. It will be saved onto cloud storage, so it can be accessed whenever you like. We also have the concept of collaborative layers. So we think this is a really nice idea to help community groups aggregate their local knowledge and build up a national picture that can be used by yourselves and other tiers of government. And this example here is of someone putting in a location of a defibrillator and then zooming out and seeing that in context of other people plotting defibrillators. And that might be useful if you've got something going on a border between different community council areas, so you can see the distribution of them in context and see where there might be some not spots of defibrillators. There are also some mapping tools that you can use that aren't just you drawing information onto the map. One example is the active travel tool. It's called isochrones. And so what that does is it draws out concentric shapes representing how far you can get in a certain driving, walking or cycling time. So you know the traditional concentric circles you'll get to say, well, you can get here in 5 minutes, here in 10 minutes, here in 15 minutes. This is the same concept, but it's taking into account the infrastructure. And this can be used for seeing how far you can get from a certain location or seeing what the catchment is of a particular location. And this might be useful for seeing how practical it'll be for people to cycle to your area, to a particular green space or a village hall. You'll be able to see that much more clearly. And with our software, it's not just about putting information into the map, it's also about sharing it out as well, because the mapping can be used as a conversation point for various different plans. So we've got a PDF creator here where you can create professional looking maps and share them for whatever purposes you need. We've also got the ability to create shareable links, so you can share a link to someone or to a group, or even publish it on your website, and that will give that reader of that link an interactive map that they can roam around and see the information you've drawn in. And you can also embed these maps into web pages as well. So it'd be great if you could sign up to this and give it a go yourself. On our website, we've got a form that you can fill in where all you need to do is type in the local community council to your area. And once you've done that, once you've searched for that, you can click on it and it'll take you through to the next step. And from here, if you go to subscribe now, that will take you through straight away to the sign up. And it tells you what your traditional price would be for this. Now, ignore this for the time being because we are not charging you for this. So what you can do is you can enter the code CMS12 and that will give you 1 year's free subscription to the software. Now, during the sign up form, there will be 2 questions relating to 2 very confusing acronyms. One of them is the PSGA, which is the Public Sector Geospatial Agreement. Basically, this is a scheme to give you as a community council access to higher resolution digital mapping. So in a nutshell, it means you go from this kind of mapping on the right hand side to this higher detailed property level mapping. Now it's free to register and free to use for your local council. And all you need to do is go to os.uk/PSGA. So Ordnance Survey are the ones that are managing this. Now, if you haven't got a code at this stage where you're signing up to Community Map Scotland, don't worry, just put I haven't got the code yet, and then when it comes through, you can add it in. And the same concept applies to the APGB. Now, that is the Aerial Photography Great Britain scheme. And again, that means you go from the lower resolution photography to this higher resolution photography. Again, completely free. And once you've added your PSGA license number in, the software will prompt you to sign the APGB membership, and that can be done within the Parish Online software. So these are the only 2 hoops that you have to jump through. It's the mapping industry. We love a good acronym, and those are the 2 that you need to know about. So this is a recently launched project, but we've had some great initial feedback so far. We've had hundreds joining the latest introductory sessions, chaired by the Community Council Liaison Officers Network. We've had fantastic support from Improvement Service and from PAS. They're there adding more data in and providing support and engagement to community councils and community groups. We've had communities signing up every day, so it's really great to see that. So if you know of people who are part of community councils, then please do let them know. And we've had really good feedback from other organisations who aren't community councils or community groups as well, so it'd be great to see what comes of those. So next steps for the project? Well, first of all, we'd love to see whether we can get more engagement from local authorities, central government, but also the community councils and the community groups. We'd like to see whether we can get funding to support the next 12 months, but really we're just excited to see what this project brings and what we can do with the power of mapping and having it in your hands. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this introduction, and please do take advantage of this software project. Now, we've had a few frequently asked questions come through recently, so I thought I'd just cover these now. So if an individual signs up for a community council account, can it transfer to others? So yes, an account, when you sign up to an account with us, you're signing up on behalf of a community council. So that account will stay there forever and people can come in and come out of it. So it's not assigned to one individual. Can you publish maps on your own website or distribute them to the public? Yes, you can. The only caveats to that are you have to adhere to the PSGA licensing, which is essentially to only use the mapping for community council business. So as long as you are doing something that's within the realm of what a community council should be doing, then it's fine. And obviously then don't sell the maps. So if you produce a map and you print off 100 copies and you want to give them out to residents, you cannot charge for those maps. If you're not a community council, can you sign up to this? So we get this quite a lot in Scotland. It's a bit more clear cut in England and Wales, but we recognise that not all areas have active community councils, and that you have development trusts and other organisations that exist to help make their local area better. We're happy for those organisations to sign up. There may be some issues when signing up to the PSGA, but we are in conversation with the PSGA team about that. So can the local authority share their local plan to use as a context? This is a question in relation to local place plans. So yes, Improvement Service do aggregate local plan data, and that is currently shared down into the Parish Online software for this project. There is one caveat to that though. It is the data that's gone into it is circa 2019 because there's a new planning policy framework. So as soon as that comes in, we'll share it. But yes, there is a bit of a lag in that data. Can I see land ownership? Not yet. There is an equivalent dataset in England and Wales which shows you the freehold property extents of ownership, but it doesn't tell you who owns those pieces of land. That's something we're going to try and add into this project, but it will be definitely limited to seeing what's freehold, leasehold, etc., rather than individual ownership. Do we sell the data that you add in? No, we're not interested in selling your data. And we also don't share it externally. If you want to, that's absolutely fine, but we don't do that. And this is a question which is asking if we can add certain data sets and different maps into the software. So yes and no. Hopefully we can add as many of them in as possible. Any suggestions you have, please do send them through to us, and we will try and get them added. The best thing to do there is to email the Improvement Service to start off with that. We get this next question when people sign up to the PSGA. It says, do I need to use the OS Data Hub to get the mapping into my account? No, we do all of that for you. So we hold all of the data that's in the OS Data Hub already in the software. You just need your PSGA license number to sort of activate it into your account. So no, all we need is your PSGA license number. What do you do if you see that the data is wrong? Contact the owner of the data directly, and if you're not sure who that is, then drop us a message and we will point them in the right direction. If we create a local place plan, will it be ignored by the planning authority? We hope not, as we've put there. So we've heard a lot of positive things so far, and but it will take momentum for community councils to make their voice heard. Local place plans should be taken into account in a local plan. That's the same concept in England and Wales with neighbourhood plans, where they have to be referred to in any planning application. So by starting to draft your local place plan, you've got a good chance of it being taken into account. Do you have to use the software? No, not at all. You don't have to be included in this. This is a purely opt-in service. It's an experiment. We want to see whether you can get benefit of using the mapping software, but we do hope you'll join in and give us your feedback on how well you find it. Okay, thank you very much for your time. If you've got any ideas, queries, suggestions, whatever, do get in touch. You can use support@geosphere.com, and I will then refer that through to Improvement Service Pass. And we've also got a K-Hub forum, which can be used for discussing things around this project. Thank you very much.